Welcome to e-commerce eBay edition lesson 2. So in this I'm going to kind of quickly go over products, how to find them, what to find them, kind of just the goods and the bads, all of that, just in detail for you guys. I really hope that you guys take notes on this because this is all very important. eBay is pretty easy and self-explanatory once you get the hang of it, but some people still need that extra guidance when it comes to picking products, which is why we are here. So, when it comes to picking the products, these are 5 core essentials that are very important. Take notes, write them down if you have to, so that you keep them in mind. First one is reviews. Always look for products with great reviews. This will mean that the product is more likely to be enjoyed by the buyer. So basically, if the product that you're picking has 5 stars, you'll most likely be able to sell it very easily, especially if it has many reviews. Definitely make sure that you're checking the pictures that are in the reviews so that you can see what the product itself looks like in real life, because sometimes the pictures are not the same and you really want a good quality product to make it so that you don't have as many returns. So number 2, sales and revenue. Make sure that you check to see if the product is actually making money. If it's not making money, then it's not worth your time. Because if the person who's selling it right now isn't making any money off it or selling it at all, chances are you're not going to be able to sell it either, which means you're not going to have product, or you're not going to have any income from it, and you're not going to do anything but waste your time on it. Number 3, price range. You'll want to aim for products that you can buy at about 15 to 30 US dollars. If you're in a different country and buying and shipping between your country, then definitely make sure that it's a low cost to you, that you can sell for a higher price range. Selling anything really, buying anything and selling it really any higher than that really isn't going to work as well, especially through eBay. The $15 to $30 range really is where you see the most profit margin. Number 4, listing quality. So if the product isn't solving a problem, in high demand, or visually appealing, then it isn't one you want to spend time selling. This is pretty straightforward, guys. If your product looks like crap, you're not going to be able to sell it. If it's something that is not appealing, people are going to look at it and they're just going to scroll right by. So make sure that the pictures you're using, even if they're not the ones that you're seeing on the website that you're purchasing it from, make sure you're picking appealing pictures, as well as looking at whether or not it's in high demand or solving a problem. So if it's an item that is trendy right now and goes with a theme that's really trendy right now and hot, then you're probably going to see a lot more people buying it, as well as if it solves a problem. So for example, there's a lot of baby products out there that are low cost, you can sell for a good price range, and a lot of moms will buy them. Reason being, it solves a problem that the mothers are having with their children. So it could be anything from a binky holder, stuff like that. It's something that's solving a problem. So look into each product, see if it solves any kind of problem. If it does and you can think of one, then move on to see if it's making any sales, in demand, or visually appealing. Number 5, patents and seasonings. So if the product is owned by someone else and they have that on it, it's basically licensed so that other people can't steal it or sell it. So if you do, by mistake, post something and try and sell something that does have one of those, you will most likely just get a request to cease and desist, so you'll basically have to take it down. So if this happens, don't panic, don't freak out, just remove the product. Let them know you removed it and apologize, and you will be fine. There's nothing that comes from that. They're not going to go after you mega for your freaking first time. Everyone always panics over this one. Take a deep breath. If this happens, just delete it. That's all you have to do. So, seasoning. This is pretty obvious, guys. Really just use common sense when it comes to this. You wouldn't sell winter clothes in the summertime or pools in the wintertime. So just kind of look at, the product, say to yourself, is someone going to be able to use, wear, or do something with this product within the next week of purchasing it? If the answer is yes, then it's probably something that's in season. If the answer is probably no, then you probably shouldn't waste your time on it. Moving on to deciding your product list. Okay, so do not sell anything that you feel any kind of emotional or mental connection to. So if you, for example, are a survivor of breast cancer, if you are doing eBay selling instead of doing Shopify, you need to not sell anything that is like that, because what will happen is if it starts to decline or the product fails or it's not making sales, you will tend to hold on to it because you still believe in the product. So you are going to feel a connection to it, so you're going to keep trying to sell it even after it's stopped making you money. And we are here to make money, not to have any connections with anything. Okay, so look for profitable products that are in any category. So this is the biggest thing that holds people back. I see a lot of people that come to me and they're like, I don't know why, my products aren't working. Well, the problem is a lot of you tend to take your product, and when you're trying to do on eBay, you tend to forget this is eBay and not Shopify. So you don't really need a theme at all. So you can choose any product that has a good profit margin that you're going to be able to sell successfully. So if it's something that's going to make you money, it's legal, safe, non-living, and shippable, then you should have no shame about selling it. This includes lingerie, intimate items, lubricants, socks, food items, anything you can think of, no matter how stupid or insignificant you think it is or how awkward it is. Remember, if there's a market for it and people are buying it, you can make money off it. Don't have any shame. No one's going to be looking at you like that. It's eBay. So moving on to one of our final things is products to avoid. So, number one is pretty obvious. Glass are easily breakable. You don't want to be, especially drop shipping anything that is glass or easily breakable, because if someone does get a broken item, the first thing they're going to do is try to return it and get a refund, which nobody likes to get broken items, so just avoid it. Plugs into anything electrical unless drop shipping from somewhere like Lowe's or Walmart, etc. Okay, so basically here's the deal. If you're selling something electronic and you're drop shipping it, most of the time if you're using somewhere in the US that's a well-known place, especially like Walmart.com, you're not going to have this issue. But if you're selling something that's used or from like AliExpress or any of those places, you're going to start running into issues where people will return it because either the plug doesn't work or it gets fried or the wires aren't working or it doesn't turn on and stuff like that. You just want to avoid anything like that. So if you are going to use electronic products when you're selling on eBay, make sure you're getting them from somewhere that is very reputable. So number 3 goes for kind of the same thing with lithium batteries. If you're selling anything like from thrift stores or around the house, you're going to want to make sure that if you are thrift shopping, that you are making sure they work and that all of the battery compartments are intact with no exploded batteries in them, because if that happens, the product is probably going to be no good and people are probably going to be upset over it. If you try and sell someone something that doesn't work, make sure that you are at least putting that in the description and putting it as parts only. You don't want to get tons of people coming back for refunds. It will hurt your reputation on eBay. They can leave bad reviews, guys. So it is important to follow all of this. So again, back to the patented items. If it is owned by someone else and you get that message, just remove it. Not a big deal, but try and avoid it. There are lots of outlets and websites that I will be providing throughout this course that does show you where you can look these things up and find out so that you are able to avoid that with less work. Okay, so last one, lots of variants. So a lot of people tend to think that when they're doing things like this, that variety is, great. It's not. It's really not. When you're eBay selling, it has to be very cut, clean, and dry in order to see your return without a lot of work. So, especially with drop shipping, people are going to get confused, or they're going to buy one item and think that it was the other. If you have choices, they'll get the wrong color or style or bundle or anything. Chances are you're not going to see a return because people are going to have a lot of issues. They're going to get things that they didn't order, or the wrong color, or anything could happen, just like it could happen to you, especially if you're ordering from somewhere like AliExpress or Wish or any of that. So if you are doing that, they'll probably get a refund. Also add in clothing, because a lot of people tend to shop through their perception of themselves versus reality. So they tend to often buy sizes that are too big or too small, or the size charts are different. Everyone's body type is different, so something might not look good on them, and then they get upset and they do try and return it. Okay, so that is the end of our presentation on lesson 2 on product picking. So go ahead